what would you change in your strategy in any particular state or in general?
You know, it's a hard question to answer now because
you're so I mean,
I know.
You're so close.
I know, it's very close. And obviously, winning the popular vote is something that usually determines the nominee, because obviously it's never happened that somebody wins the popular vote but is slightly behind the delegates. And that's why this primary today is so important, because the stronger the case is, that I believe is evident from the strength I have and the coalition I've put together, that I am the stronger candidate against John McCain, the more likely we'll be able to prevail in the end.
Could we see Hillary Clinton vice president?
You know, I want to wait until...
I know you're going to say president, of course. But
right. Well, but I want to wait to...
Are you closing the book on vice president?
No, what I have said is that I want to make sure we get a nominee, which neither of us is yet. We have not yet finished this process, and that's why I'm committed to making sure that we get as many people to vote here, and then we'll go on to the next two primaries. And then we'll determine who the nominee is. I have said that I will do whatever I can, whatever I'm asked, to make sure that we win in November. We haven't gone through this grueling campaign to see another Republican in the White House. That's my biggest concern, is that I don't think that's good for any of us. It's not good for the states, it's not good for Puerto Rico. My bottom line, so to speak, is who is the stronger candidate against Senator McCain. And in analysis after analysis, you can see where I beat Senator McCain, the states that I can win with the electoral votes we need. It's much more difficult for Senator Obama to make that case.
Well, from everything that I've collected, at least in the island, everybody would love to see that combined ticket. It would be the dream ticket, basically. But again, do you think there's the differences between you and Senator Obama and your campaigns particularly, does that make it impossible to work together?
No, not at all. I mean, the differences between us, which are real, as you said, I'm the only candidate left with a universal health care plan. I have the most vigorous agenda for Puerto Rico, and many other aspects of my energy, education, economic plans are different. But the differences between Senator Obama and myself pale in comparison to the differences between us and Senator McCain. And once we resolve this nominating process, we will turn our attention to making the case very strongly that whoever voted for me or voted for Senator Obama should definitely vote against Senator McCain, because they really don't have anything in common. He's going to continue President Bush's economic policies. He's going to continue the war in Iraq. There is no reason why any Democrat should be supporting him.
Coming back to Puerto Rico, 54% of our voters are women. Especially, what do you have in store in your program for women?
Well, being one myself, I'm very excited about the prospect of having waged this campaign. And the support among women is incredibly high for me, because I think it is very related to women's lives. It would be the first time we would have a daughter, a sister, a wife and a mother in the White House. And our experiences do lend themselves to being focused on health care for everyone, for example, because it's usually the woman in the household who gets everybody to the doctor, takes care of all of that. We're just more in touch with what the needs are.
Coming back, we're part of Latin America, of course, and part of America. And don't you feel the United States has been losing Latin America? We've had the Hugo Chavez, the Evo Morales, the Correa. We're going back. I mean, instead of one Castro, we have like 5 Castros now. What can we do to reverse that trend?
Well, I think the whole world will breathe a big sigh of relief when President Bush leaves office. And a lot of that will be coming from Latin America, because after promising to pay attention to Latin America, he's put the rest of the world on the back burner and focused on Iraq and a few other places. So I would hope that as soon as he's out of office, we can rebuild our relationships and start working on a partnership basis again with Latin America. We were making progress. As First Lady, I spent time helping work with Latin America to eradicate measles and to improve the education rates of children in primary schools. So there's a lot that the United States can do as a partner, and working with Latin America on everything from energy independence to better health care, to standing against narco-trafficking, as Mexico is attempting to do. There's just a lot we can do together.
Your staff has told me we have 5 more minutes, so basically I'll stick to that. We have in Latin America, we have in America 50 million Hispanics. Towards the end of, probably according to census projections, by mid-century, the largest majority, the largest minority will be Hispanics. Close to 1/3 of the nation will be Hispanic. And if you add all of those that are not traditionally Caucasian, for the first time in history, the demographics of the nation will have a non-Caucasian majority. Are we ready to have a bilingual nation, or at least a nation that respects the two cultures and that accepts Spanish as another language, perhaps not the official language? The official language is, of course, English, and it should be, but at least to respect the differences in terms of linguistics and culture.
I hope so. Certainly, living in New York City, you can see what the diversity means in terms of the dynamism of the economy, the culture, all that we have benefited from. And I think it's going to be an important task of leadership at all levels to make sure that we embrace each other in our diversity, but that we still seek the commonalities that mark us as citizens of the United States. And, I have always supported the efforts to try to reach out and be as inclusive as possible, and I have resisted efforts to, for example, say that English is the official language, because that would not work in New York. I mean, that might mean that you couldn't provide translators in court or at hospitals, but that I am very hopeful that we will maintain the common threads that keep us together as a strong nation.
You do agree that every state has a right to declare whatever their official languages are. I mean, that's a reality, right?
Oh, I know.
As a state, not the nation.
Yes, but I think it's unfortunate. I mean, what people ought to be doing is saying we want everyone to be as fluent in English as possible, and we want as many bilingual speakers as possible. Those are not mutually exclusive.
One of the things that your visit and your visits and your husband's visits have shown in Puerto Rico is that we're not divided by language, basically. We're united by meanings, by common meanings. Don't you feel?
Yes.
I mean, when we talk about universal health care, when we talk about economy and jobs, we're talking exactly the same language, be it we say empleo,
yes,
or we call it jobs, or
yes,
we say petróleo, or you call it oil. It's the same thing.
That's right.
It's the same thing. So it's the commonness of meanings, whatever is meaningful to us, that's what makes us a huge nation, I guess.
That's right, and that is rooted in our experience as human beings. I mean, we have so much more in common than we often recognize. Political differences, ethnic, racial, gender, all of the differences are so superficial. And as we learn more about the human genome, we know that we are 99% the same. And my hope is that as we become more diverse, we overcome those differences and divisions.
Senator, we have 2 more minutes. The microphones are yours. You can talk to your audience and to your electorate, basically. 2 more? No?
No.
They told us. Okay.
Oh, what a shame. Well, I've had such a good time talking with you.
Your staff told us your time is up, so our time is up. Anyway, thank you for being with us at Noti Uno. It's a pleasure. And again, I wish you the best of luck. And the only thing that I want is a united Democratic Party. I have no qualm saying all my biases.
Yes, yes, and that's what we will have, but let's get everyone out to vote first today.
Señoras y señores, la senadora Hillary Clinton, cuando vengamos, le explicamos lo que dijo. Noti Uno continúa.